my question is, should we go towards looking for a teacher in terms of whatever field we want to go towards? Me personally, since December last year, I'm sort of focusing on almost all my energy in going forward in yoga, learn and practice, and do a little bit of karma yoga as well on the side as much as I can. Trying to learn something out of in this to give it more meaning and to feel like I'm going towards something of meaning, which makes sense in life, because so far I feel I've done things for achieving or getting other people's expectations met, or make myself feel like I've fulfilled other people's expectations, and then somewhere along the lines I've forgotten what is it that I want to do. And then now yoga makes sense. It makes me feel healthy as well. It makes me feel more focused, and also it makes me feel like I'm going towards the right path for me in terms of having some values, to keeping myself grounded. So over here I see there's just, even in Rishikesh, so many yogashalas. But I feel I don't want to get lost in this. So I want to stay with one teacher, like how I've heard so many people talk about their teachers. And I don't know how long I should wait, or how I'm right now focusing on just preparing myself for when I meet a teacher.
Why should you wait for a teacher or ever meet a teacher? Isn't it commonsensical? If you are doing well by yourself, then there is no need for any teacher or any external agency. First of all, obviously, you need to have the zeal to change, to improve, to give up that which you must not have. And that zeal must fire you to, first of all, do all that you can on your own accord. That's the preliminary requirement. One must have exhausted all his personal efforts. And who knows, your personal efforts just might suffice. There is no need to quickly buy into the notion that one's personal efforts are never quite enough. Sometimes they have been enough. There have been people who have never had any living teachers in flesh and blood, and yet they could sort it out. So first of all, give it an honest try, many honest tries. Keep trying on your own till you are convinced that you have done your utmost. It is only then that you will be able to learn from any external body. Without having made truly honest efforts on your part, even if a Krishna or a Buddha comes your way, you will not be able to honor him, bow down to him. You will find no need. The ego will stand erect and say, well, I understand, you are special, but I too am somebody. This I am somebody has to either conclusively win or conclusively vanish. You have all the right to assert that you are somebody and you can make it on your own. But then don't just hang on with the assertion. Come on, prove it. Enter the arena, either win or surrender. That is the reason why most people can never ever surrender, in spite of so much talk of surrender and such things. And when you talk of a teacher, the word surrender automatically comes into the picture. You cannot have a teacher without being surrendered. And how can you surrender if you have not even played the game with full intent? Even to be defeated, you must first play the game. Most people never play the game. They just sit on the sidelines, keep watching from there, and run a live commentary on others. So this is what is happening in Rishikesh, this is what happened to Ashtavakra, this is what happened to Sandipani, this was the relationship between Yagyavalk and Gargi or Maitreyi. Right? You have so many stories and you can keep talking about them. There were these students and they challenged their teacher and then such and such things happened. We know of all that. But when would you accept the challenge yourself? So accept the challenge. And it is not a pre-decided contest or a fixed match. There have been people who have ostensibly never had any teachers. And to speak in the common lingo, they could still make it. So maybe you too can make it without a teacher. And that should be the first aspiration. That should be the best possible option for you. No teacher needed, nothing. I did it on my own. But we won't even try, right? We won't even try because somewhere deep within, most of us know that if we try, the outcome is a foregone conclusion. We know what's going to happen if we try, because we very well know the results of all our previous attempts in the various fields of life. There is nobody who has never tried for any single thing, right? We have tried for multiple things and we know what came out of that. So even in this field, we are already apprehensive. The ego knows that if it tries for liberation, for yoga, for spiritual understanding, any of these things, then there is a very, very major possibility that it will succeed. The ego knows that in advance. Because the ego knows what all its previous attempts amounted to. So it knows that now if I try yoga or bhakti or bodh or mukti on my own, what it is going to come to, amount to. So then there is only one way for the ego to save itself, not try at all and just keep blabbering, sitting on the sidelines. Sit on the sidelines and run a commentary. Watch other people, assess them, judge them. But don't challenge the monsters in your own life. Don't open up about your own life. Like you may sit here and almost like a spy, listen to what the others are talking of and what the speaker is saying to the others, but not open up. Because if you open up again, you kind of know the result. That's what the ego is quite adept at. If you can't win it, don't fight it. Fight it. You might just win. And if you will not win, you will at least learn to surrender. It's a bad conspiracy against oneself to totally avoid the real challenges, the real questions, because they entail the possibility of defeat. If you will avoid challenges, you are avoiding life itself. How will you live? And I'm not talking of mundane everyday challenges. I'm talking of the real challenges that beset us, face us, traumatize us. All the monsters hiding in the subconscious. They are the ones to be addressed. Once you have exhausted yourself, then you are not left to choose the teacher. Right now, you are so much, so big. There is such a large quantity of you. What will so much of you do? You know what it will do? With a lot of confidence, it will go about choosing the right teacher for itself. Because if I am, then I reserve the right to choose my own teacher. And we very well know how the ego chooses its teachers. If the ego is really the ego, then there is only one discipline it wants to excel in. If the ego really wants to be taught, what is it that it would want to learn? It would want to learn how to remain a more powerful ego. The ego too is a keen learner, right? The ego too can be a very capable student. It's just that it wants to learn all the wrong things. And when you want to learn all the wrong things, there appear all the wrong teachers to satisfy your demand. Look all around. Those teachers are not to be blamed. Where there is demand, there is supply. When the ego demands teachers, then teachers to beef up the ego start raining from all sides and all countries of the world. Therefore, even to get the real teacher, you must not remain. If you remain, you will choose your teacher and you will invariably choose the wrong teacher. So if you are to get the right teacher, then you must finish off. You will finish off only if you accept challenges. Fight so hard that you don't remain at all. And then the right teacher appears. You don't choose him. You don't buy his services. Just comes over. Comes over to whom? To the one who has been now thoroughly defeated. To the one who has not a shred of self-confidence left. Then the teacher comes. Now this fellow can listen. Teachers are not in paucity. The scarcity is of the ones who can listen. It is the listening that has to be opened up. If your listening can open up, you will find teachers almost everywhere. And those teachers need not be in human shape and form. And ask me, all real teachers love students who do not require teachers too much. All teachers like students who are very thorough with their homework. Who wants to have a student who won't work on his own, strive on his own, and just want to ride on the teacher's back? This kind of student no teacher likes.